Probably one of the more unique weeks that looks like we're getting ready to head into with 3 games in 5 days, and 9 p.m. tip tomorrow night, and then get right on the road and go play back-to-back against Tulane in New Orleans, and then head straight to South Florida from there before we come back and get ready for the AAC tournament. So very, very challenging week, obviously against one of the very best teams in this league, and starting tomorrow night in Tulane.
How do you, I know you take it one game at a time, but how do you handle 3 games in 5 days against really good competition, keeping the guys, or trying to keep them fresh?
Yeah, it's a great, we're not that deep in terms of our bench and minutes. I think you just try and do what you've been doing, but the volume can't quite be the same. That's what we've had 2 really good days of practice. We've just had to shrink the time of it a little bit, and and then you got to try and manage it throughout the game, and then in the next day and travel, and we'll see when we get there. Right now, all our focus is on being ready by 9 o'clock tomorrow night in terms of being ready for the game. We just know what a great team Tulane is. I have so much respect for Coach Hunter, their players, and their program. They're at the very top of this league for a reason, and they're a team that I think everyone's aspiring to build their program the way they've done it. So right now it's just trying to prepare every practice, every film session to be ready to go at 9 o'clock.
I don't know if anybody's really a fan of 9 o'clock tip-offs other than maybe TV. So I think y'all went Cincinnati earlier. Just can y'all take anything away from that?
Just a long day.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it's just a long day, and it's a long day for them too. And I'm sure if we had our choice, we both would rather play a little bit earlier. But just a long day, and you know what? The flip side is we're very fortunate to be in a conference and be in a program where we're on national TV. And so if they told us to play at midnight, we'd play at midnight, and we'd all be okay with it. I've actually been a part of a midnight game before, and it's just what it is. But it's a great opportunity for our conference and both programs to be on national TV, and it just happens to be a 9 o'clock tip.
You're facing one of the more experienced backcourts probably in this conference. Can you use that kind of measure where your young guys have kind of progressed through this season?
Yeah, I think the Houston game against a backcourt that's as good as anywhere in the country with Shed and Sasser, and now you're coming right back to back, and then you get them twice in the same week in terms of the backcourt that Tulane has. I mean, Cook's 8 for 15 the other night from 3 versus Wichita State. They make 15 threes as a team. And you have 2 guys averaging 20 points a game in this league. So every night it's a challenge, but without a doubt, between Houston and Tulane this week, the top 2 teams in the league, and you play them 3 times, and Tulane twice back-to-back. So from a measurement standpoint, what you do is you prepare for it. Our guys know how good Tulane is. They know how good their players are. Their backcourt is, as you said. And so now you got to go compete, but you don't know until you get in the game, until the experience factor and how talented they are. And so, but our guys will be ready, but they got to go do it. It's a big difference in being ready and going and competing against the very best. And we learned that on Saturday night.
What did you see in the tape on Saturday night that are positives you can take out?
Positives would be the way we kept competing. The way we, in the second half offensively, I thought we did a good job driving the basketball. If we had been able to convert on free throws in the first half, we got to the free throw line in the first half. We just didn't make our free throws, which never allowed it to even stay within striking distance in the first half. There were some positives. Defensively, there were some positives in the first 2/3 of the possessions, but the ultimate negative was rebounding, and we knew that going into the game. You get out-rebounded by 20. You give up 17 offensive rebounds. So regardless if we did anything, we could have made free throws, we could have made shots. If we didn't rebound the basketball, we knew we didn't have a chance, and we didn't get the job done there. But we'll try and build on some of the things where we took care of the basketball. We only had 10 turnovers, and in the second half, we were able to get to the paint and drive, and we did a better job finishing, shooting 52% in the second half, and had a much stronger offensively in the offensive second half.
Senior day for a couple guys. Are y'all honoring Dave as well as Luigi? Do you know him that yet?
Yes, Dave and Luigi both getting honored as seniors, and our guys understand the importance it is, and everything those 2 guys have given to this program, this university. Our guys understand this game is about them and giving back to them in terms of returning the favor of what they've done in their whole careers here, and this is the last time they get to suit up in Minji's, and so it's a special night for them.
What has Luigi kind of meant to you guys? I know you talked a little bit about Dave throughout the year, but Luigi too seems to have embraced kind of the new culture, new coaching staff, and kind of played his role.
Yeah, it means so much because not only has he brought it physically when he's gone in the game, not only has he bought in, like you said, to what we've done offensively and defensively, just his energy and positivity and leadership every day in practice, his voice in the locker room. And I've said this about Dave, and I'll say it about Luigi. Even though Luigi's played more, there's games where I know Luigi wants to play more. Probably the other night versus Houston. And I get it. I think all players want to play more. But it has never affected his energy, positivity, leadership, his voice in the locker room. He brings it on the court. He brings it in practice. But even games where he didn't play as much as he wanted to, Stephen, he's brought it. He's brought that energy. And it's just so big for a program as everyone is buying in and putting 2 feet into what we're doing.